Hi guys, Figure-Boi here, back with another video, and today I was thinking of looking at Vader Down, which, I got this for my birthday. It's basically a follow-up to, like, the first two volumes of the Marvel Comics, Star Wars series, which is just known as Star Wars. I think the one which, you've got that, it's almost like there's, like, the three different versions of this same cover, like with different, I think there was almost like a white one, a black one maybe, and a red one, because I know I had like the first issue, or like a reprint, not the actual like first printing, because I know that around that time that was going for like a proper lot, and it was me getting my hopes up thinking it was actually worth something. Well, they're like broken, like all torn now, but I do still have them. But I don't like hold them in that high value, because I'm more of like a Walking Dead guy, really, like comic wise, because they're the series that I was actually properly like invested in, and I went back to getting the volumes again or whatever. But I am currently collecting like the Walking Dead Deluxe. I intend to get them all, and so far I've got them all so far, and there's a reprint of the third issue, well, all of them actually, of 1 to 6. It's just I'm planning on getting the reprint because of the cover error, but they did try to make up for that with the because they addressed the error in like a later issue or whatever, and they basically included that cover alongside these other variant covers at the back of the issue, which sort of made up for it. And I suppose the second printing will also sort of make up for it, but it says second printing on it. So yeah, but apparently they're going to reprint some of the special issues as well, I think, but not anytime soon. So in that case, I'm not going to take it out and substitute it in. I'm going to probably just include it as a separate thing, and it'll just make me feel a bit better, especially like, it's almost like from the, it sounds, starting to sound a bit sexual now. I mean, from the back, you're gonna notice inconsistency. But from the front, like the front covers, it's not really much of an issue, when you're lining them up. But I suppose when I'm doing like that lineup of what the issues look like from the back, then you got the right issue, and it would just make me feel a bit better. Make me feel a bit better, yeah. Right, anyway, we'll stop talking about The Walking Dead. Now we'll start talking about Star Wars. So if you're into Walking Dead, there you go. Right, so there's a bit of back history, I suppose. Going on a bit of a tangent there, but there you go. Right, so, yeah, this turns out Vader Down, I thought this was almost like this one big singular issue kind of thing. Where it was just like one issue, special issue called Vader Down, and I was thinking, what, 16 quid for a singular issue? Like, it's almost like, what? It's almost like, but then it turns out, I'll go on about that in a minute. Right, is that, I think, does it say? Yeah, right, sorry, don't need to go through the whole book to tell you what issues are actually included. Right, so I think there was the one issue of Vader Down, and then obviously you had like the like issues 13, 14, and 13 to 15 of Darth Vader, whatever, is actually included in this rather than those like in the singular volumes or whatever. I'm actually considering getting more now, but part of me wants to focus on Marvel and that. But then again, it's almost like I think these comics almost. Because I remember last time I was going on, oh, yeah, if it's fan fiction, it doesn't really count. It doesn't really count. Because George Lucas didn't write it, so it's like automatically shit. Right. So, I didn't. I think that was more me dropping shade, like the. No, it's almost. I just don't like it when people go a bit with this whole Legends stuff. Because it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like exaggerating them a little bit. I don't know, but then again, it's almost like about making them better, or trying to expand on what George Lucas has already kind of established. So it's almost like So at the end of the day, I'm being a bit stupid because it's almost like, well, would you rather than make them like some weak, pathetic weakling, you know, that doesn't like sand? Oh wait, no, George Lucas actually did that. Right, never mind. Well, then again, he killed a bunch of Tusken Raiders and all that, you know. Now, I like to reenact that scene with my Tusken Raider figure, where I basically get Luke Skywalker and just remove the head. There you go, of the Tusken Raider, of course, not Luke Skywalker. I'm allergic to eggs, so yeah, that won't be a good idea. Right, you know, well, that's more so when he's Darth Vader, but whatever. Right, so yeah, hopefully, when I rewatch this video, that point becomes more coherent, or whatever the word is. I don't know. I tend to overuse thesauruses. Right, so there you go. And some of the best Star Wars stuff wasn't written by George Lucas himself. Right, like, I mean, you know, I can't go on about The Mandalorian because some people get a bit upset, you know, spoilers. Right. I've got back into Doctor Who at the minute. Anyway, let's talk about Vader Down. So, unlike the my last review, which I totally forgot everything that happened, from what I understand, yes, this is about Vader going after Luke Skywalker and Dr. Aphra, and the evil versions of C-3PO and R2-D2, which I don't know if he's on the cover, but they do play like a significant role here. I have to say, the actual cover art and on the back here is probably better than the actual art inside the volume, or whatever you'd call this itself. But what I do like is, that's when I go on about the cover here, right, is that I like how it opens up a bit like a Star Wars movie, similar to like the other, like, well, all of them sort of do this, where you've got like the it's almost like, you know, it's not like those cards that you can open up and it goes dun, 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 dun. Pretty much never did that, right? No, I was just, and then you got the opening crawl, and then you have and then this little introduction here, because I noticed that the art looks different, so I don't know if a different person did this, or maybe it's just me because I haven't looked at it in a while. But right, and you got this, so it almost feels like an actual Star Wars opening crawl, right? So let's go on. So it almost starts off where it's almost, from what I recall, I think Vader has to go somewhere because Luke is on this certain planet, right? Obviously a bunch of explosions and all that. And I think it's more... and obviously Vader arrives being a badass, of course. I mean, I suppose... I felt like in the films, it's almost like... I always just remember... The thing is, it's almost like, you know, he has those action sequences, like those lightsaber battles, but it's almost like you almost want to see Vader almost being like a badass by himself when he's not like in the midst of like a battle between like him and Luke or Obi-Wan, if you know what I mean. So it's almost like, I always think of like him on Hoth when he arrives and they've already like pissed off somewhere else. I mean, that scene, it's almost like, even though he wasn't actually like in a fight or anything, it's almost like those kind of solitary scenes. It's almost like, I think that's what people really want to see, I suppose. So I suppose this is why I probably enjoyed this comic a bit more when it came to like Vader stuff. I know, as in like when he's basically just killing non-important soldiers and that, not like you know, one-on-one fights, if you know what I mean. Right, and then we see Leia, beloved Leia, and yeah, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. Right, you know, me being a simp and all, but I'm gonna get this off my chest now, right? Okay, so there's certain panels where it's almost like it actually looks like Princess Leia, like here, and obviously that looks like Harrison Ford, but I'm not simping over him, right? And then you've got this cover here, absolutely magnificent. Not just obviously in awe of Princess Leia over here, but like Vader himself as well. It's almost like it looks as though he could come around and, you know, decapitate her with the lightsaber. I don't know. At that point, he wouldn't know that she was his daughter or whatever. I don't think. I don't know. I don't read the Legends stuff really, to be fair, because I'm not really No, I've got like the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith book, but I'm really slow reading that. But anyway, maybe I'll do something on that some other time. But that probably won't be for another decade, so, yeah. Anyway, oh yes, right. Because I know when it comes to trying to describe plot, it's going to be like really like difficult for me. Yeah, difficult. Because like I said, some of it goes over my head, but from what I remember, it's obviously evil C-3PO finds Luke and basically electrocutes him, and he looks like how he did in Rise of Skywalker, or well, how C-3PO looked in Rise of Skywalker. And yeah, and then my favourite cover again, right? So, right. This evil C-3PO is actually properly scary, proper scary, even, whatever. See, I think he actually, I think he replaced his replaced his plates with. It looks like this, and Luke actually looks like a proper Spangaloid here, right? Right. So, and then Doctor after the, so I was like, how could you not be scared of these droids? I'd be bloody scared of them. Just like, it could like malfunction and kill you. And she's just calm. She's like in control. Because I go on in a bit. But there was a part which I'll show later if I can. Well, I don't know if I'll show later, but there's a bit where they think she's dead, and he's like, oh, I was hoping that like they'd be able to bypass their, I don't know, programming or something and be able to kill her. It was almost like, well, no, and I know, and then I was trying to, because there were some lines that I actually read in Anthony Daniels' voice, so it was so it's almost like, oh, wouldn't it be? I mean, I don't know if I'd have time for an audio, but it's almost like if they almost did a dub of the actual comic, or someone almost did like an animation with the voice. It'd actually be really interesting, because it's almost like I'm only thinking that because not just going by his actual appearance, but he actually, because he spoke first, didn't he, to Luke here? So it's almost like it's almost like, would he have? It must be his voice, because otherwise he surely would have been able to tell the difference or whatever. And obviously R2D2 is having a fit because he knows something's off. Look. And then obviously that's when this funny panel shows up. So it's almost like, it's almost like that'd be interesting to almost hear evil C-3PO with Anthony Daniels' voice. I go crazy every time I see this cover, and that's when I get onto a later point that skipping to the end here, right? Is that, sorry, it's not in chronological order, but it's impossible with Figure-Boi, isn't it? Think of me of the Quentin Tarantino of bloody reviews. Right. So, alright. I'm sorry if I'm coming across as a bit. Because I do like Princess Leia's character, don't get me wrong. I'm just a Darth Lord of the Synth, that's all, It's just near the end, right? She looks like how she does in the sequel trilogy, and then it makes and here, look. So I was like, Princess Leia, like when you ask for her on Wish, when she arrives. Like, you know what? Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't make those kind of jokes. That's offensive. Yeah, bloody. It's almost like you could say, you order Darth Vader on Wish and you get bloody the bloody Spaceballs. Actually, whatever. So, right. Anyway, yeah, because you know what? To make up for those simpy comments, I'll actually try to showcase some of Princess Leia. Well, my favourite moment of Princess Leia. Oh, actually, I'll do two moments. Well, how she's doesn't allow herself to be. She manages to, actually, yeah. Especially those moments with Vader, and not only in like, I I mean, in this comic, and like when she's first introduced, she's almost like she doesn't allow herself to be intimidated by Darth Vader that much. So she's not like those screaming like let go of me as he's like dragging her down like the Tantive IV corridor or anything like that. So that's one good thing, because I kind of hate like female characters like that. It's almost like this part of me that's going, yeah, they're fit, but it's almost like they're really annoying. It's almost like, I mean, I kind of hate that kind of stereotype. It's almost like, in some cases, I feel as though, you know, I feel as though you've got to have characters like that that start off like that, because then it's almost like you can see their almost progression, and they're not like that same person anymore, I suppose. So, right, yeah, and then there's this panel, and this doesn't really help my argument, doesn't it? That's not my fault. I didn't like choose this to be included in the issue, did I? I had no creative control over Vader down, whatever, or someone else is down, clearly. With that fight with Doctor. Well, it's not really a fight, but Princess Leia punches her in the face, because obviously they couldn't have Han Solo do it, because, you know, there'd be an uproar. But yeah, I do have that kind of complaint about, like, the artwork does come across a bit weird here. But everything else is fine, as far as I'm concerned. I think Dr. Aphra looks I think she looks slightly better here, though I wouldn't say I was a simp for Dr. Aphra. She looks less, I don't know. I don't really know what I think of the character, to be honest. I feel as though she's supposed to be like a female technical, like, expert, I think. Which is fair enough. I'm not complaining, I'm just, you know. Right, so, I don't think we don't get like a Luke Vader fight. I feel as though most of it was almost just. It was like it was all about like I felt most of it was almost like about it was like the evil like C-3PO and R2-D2 stuff. And not like I felt like that was like the primary focus. And then you have like evil Chewbacca over here. So we have a fight between those evil counterparts. I mean. And then, oh yeah, I think I actually kind of, I think I laughed at one point. I can't remember what I laughed at. Was it this bit? I think it was when, oh, I remember now, yeah. No, I've got to show you, before I go on to the Admiral Akbar fight, right? There's a bit where R2-D2 and the evil R2-D2 are basically like having a little argument. I'm sorry, but I've got to get this panel up. It's absolutely flipping hilarious. Right. Okay, so like I say, the artwork isn't terrible. It was more the artwork of Leia near the end. It's almost like they just got tired or fed up with drawing her, or maybe they couldn't draw her that good. Just did her dirty when this comic was made. But right, I'm desperate to find this panel. Where is it? I'm sorry, but I swear to God, if I don't find it, I would flip if I don't find it, right? Okay, where is it? You know, maybe I'll go on about. I think it was near the end. Oh yeah, there's a confrontation between Dr. Aphra and Han Solo. It reminds me. It's just I kind of. Oh yeah, it was this bit, right? So before I go on to that next point. Okay, I was just going to say, I kind of hate it when it's almost like, when almost this new character introduces themselves to like a pre-existing character, and it's almost like, who the fuck are you? We've never seen you before, and it's almost like, oh, you're some kind of badass. Well, I've never heard of you. I suppose like, and they have that kind of moment in here, which I actually kind of liked a bit more. It's almost like, yeah, I've never heard of you. I'm not from most of this, to be honest. Right, so there you go. And there was this funny bit where R2-D2 and evil R2-D2 are having like a scuffle. And so I was like, I'm like, yeah, R2-D2's got the upper hand here, mate. And all of a sudden, I got my AK-47 in my droid backpack, and then points at him. I was in stitches at this bit, right? So yeah, okay. And I think to conclude this, because it's it's almost, I think it was almost like about, yeah, they call it Vader Down, but part of it was almost like, is this about Dr. Aphra getting them? Sorry, sometimes I lose the plot, literally. Right, so, and then obviously, because they can't have Luke and Vader fight, because that would almost, like, spoil Bespin. Right, so, we as in, we get to see a fight, as in, I didn't sound like I was about to say we decided. No, they decided that let's have evil or Darth Akbar fight Darth Vader to decide who's going to become Palpatine's new apprentice. Right. So yeah, they have a fight, obviously, and we all know who wins, and that's clearly Darth Akbar, who learns the General Grievous technique, and it actually gains, actually becomes the new, this is a completely new canon. So yeah, Admiral Akbar becomes the new Sith Lord. Only joking, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they do that in the, the reboot of the sequel trilogy or whatever. Right, I don't know how that would work. But obviously, Vader wins, woohoo, because obviously Akbar was going to win. Right, so, there you go. And then we have a much better representation of Leia, even though it doesn't really look like her, really, does it? I don't think it does it? Really? Right, I think I remember when these issues were coming out. This would have been part of me wants to get more, but the thing is, I bought these other Star Wars comics, and I was kind of hit and miss about them, because they were almost like an anthology, and it didn't feel like, though I like those articles after each one, which focused on the character, it made it a tad bit interesting. But yeah, I think I will definitely try to reread the comics I already have. I've got Son of Dathomir up there now, it finally arrived. So yeah, I think we'll end it here. With Vader obviously watching the Falcon, fly off into the distance, and Vader's like, "Oh fuck's sake!" Right, are you taking the fucking piss? Right, and there's the other comics you can get over here. Yeah, because I've been thinking about like Palpatine and how Vader is almost. I kind of feel sorry for Vader, really. It's almost like completely wasted, right? It's almost like, especially when it's almost like anyone could replace him at any minute if they were stronger. It's almost like just comes to show, no wonder he wanted to bloody finish off Palpatine. Not just for, Padme and that, but it's almost like he's just a pawn, isn't he? It's almost like he's... And all that stuff he has to go through, especially when you're reading about the actual suit itself, you're thinking, flipping out, mate. If losing his bloody arms and... Well, I think he loses his legs. I don't know. I know he lost a hand. I know he lost his legs, right? But it's also, I know he lost a hand in that Geonosis fight with Dooku. Whatever, man. Now, I'll lose track. Anyway, I hope that review of Vader Down was more enjoyable than any of them, than my previous review, and I think this might have actually lasted slightly longer than my last one. And I'll, just so I can watch this go to 25 minutes because of my probably my OCD and that. Right, I actually managed to do this in one go. Oh, that's slick. I didn't have to re-record it. And then you'll notice in the thumbnail I've got this pillow. Oh yeah, I recorded on my new chair. Woohoo! Bit big. Yeah, very big indeed, and it's almost like I feel as though it almost like, I don't even know how they managed to squeeze it into my room. It's bloody huge. Wow, I'm just caressing my chair now. Just caressing my chair. That's the chair is my new fixation. Maybe I need to get a separate cover for it. Maybe I need to get like a do they do Captain Marvel duvets? They probably do. But I think I'm happy with my Doctor Who one for now. Right, so yeah, thanks for watching. Did I call that cushion as a cushion, not a pillow? Can't remember. You know what? Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy more pop videos coming soon.